What's going on YouTube? So something a little bit different this week for you on the channel. So we were called in to skim some walls in a hotel in Stratford, quite a grand hotel, I'll have you know. Lovely old building. And yeah, so they had textured surfaces everywhere. That's been removed and the walls were quite pitted and gouged and damaged. They lost a lot of the skim coat. So they called us in to re-skim all the walls. They also asked us to touch up this lovely old arch, which unfortunately the guys that removed the textured surface also removed a lot of the cast-in plaster which formed the arch, and they've battered it basically. They've gave it a good pummeling. But luckily there was a little piece that was okay. So I've took a template. I'll show you how we do that now in this video, and we're going to make good this arch and tidy it up. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you again for watching. We'll see you soon. Cheers. Okay then guys, here we go. So we've got a grand old hotel in Stratford upon Avon, and we're skimming all the walls, but at the same time, if you take a look at this arch, the client wants us to make good or tidy up the arch as best we can. Now we've also got to make good this curved section at the top where the walls meet the ceiling. The guys were a bit trigger happy, let's say, when they've removed this textured coat, which was absolutely everywhere all over the walls. So they've lost a lot of the skim, and if you have a look at here, this wall particularly has took an absolute battering with the chisel. So a bit of bonding out to do. We're meshing everything as we normally do, because there are some hairline cracks and whatnot, a few little fragile bits, but overall the walls are flat, sound and level. Now I wanted to show you guys our little canopy that we use when we're knocking up when it's raining. Nothing fancy here guys, just a little bit of floor protection, you know, the 8x4 sheets that you can buy, and a bit of timber straight over the back doors, little shelter for you when you're knocking up. So that's how we do it. I know that some of you guys go real fancy and you've got the awnings or the pop-up gazebos that you throw up, but this is how we do it. No frills, little bit of floor protection. It's also good to knock up outside wherever you can guys, keep the dust down, keep the mess away from where you're working. So a good little hack there, sheet of 8x4 floor protection, bit of timber, and you've got yourself a little rain shelter for knocking up. Now on last week's video I talked about how sometimes we'll be doing small jobs, little walls, and other times we'll be doing big old jobs. Now this is probably one of the biggest ones that we've been called in to do, with a height of around, well, we're stood at just short of 3 meters. So the overall height of these walls is something like 6+, maybe near 7 meters high, and probably around the same wide too. So massive, huge walls, around 4 or 5 bag sets per wall per side. So yeah, this is one of the bigger ones guys, but as we explained last week, get the processes right on your small panels. You just transfer that over onto these larger panels. Anyway, let's get stuck into this arch. So what we've done here guys is we've skimmed the face, okay, and we've free-handed this edge that you can see running around the face of the archway. And the plan is to knock up a little scribe on site, so a little template that we can run around the arch and just tidy it up. Now I'm not a mouldings man, okay, I'm not a moulding specialist. I don't do a lot of cornicing and a lot of detailed stuff, but I'm quite confident that we can knock up a little template on site and get this arch presentable and tidy. So that's the plan, and we are going to be using gypsum multi-finish to do that. Now if you're going to be forming an arch properly from scratch, then you would use cast-in plaster, but because we're essentially just topping the arch, So we're skimming over the moulding that's in place, and we're adding around 2 or 3 mil, as you can see here on the right hand side. Some of it's in decent condition, so the plan is to take a scribe and we'll knock up a little template onto site and run that round. I'll show you how we do that now. So all I've done here, guys, is I've put the multi-tool blade straight through the moulding, maybe at around 20 mil, 15-20 mil depth. And what that does, it allows me to slip some paper inside, as shown here, and literally just draw around the shape of that moulding onto your paper, like so. When you remove that, you've got a perfect shape. Okay, so I've knocked up a little timber brace just out of some 2x2, and what that does, it sits against the face and the side of the wall there, and we're going to run up against the wall, and I'm going to cut a little bit of perspex in the same shape that we pulled from this arch. I'll show you how we do that. So using the multi-tool again, guys, I've just cut through this piece of 3mm perspex plastic in the shape that we need, and I'm just getting a rough fit there to check it. So the next step is to sand this back like so. Try and get that curve as clean and as smooth as we can. Now guys, this is just a quick way of knocking up a template when you're on site. Okay, it's a quick way of doing this, but although it is effective, it's not going to be as clean and crisp as using steel. Again guys, you can knock these moulds up from the back of your van. You know, if you've got a multi-tool, a handsaw and a bit of timber and a bit of perspex, you can knock one of these up on site. Take you half an hour. Now I have sealed up this arch with some PVA, and I've glooped on the first run of multi-finish. Again, this is about 3mm in thickness, guys. Now if you were going to do this from scratch, you would use casting plaster, okay, but because we're only adding a couple of mil over the top, there's no reason why you can't use your skim, same as when you skim walls. So we've fixed our perspex to the timber frame, and as you can see there, I'm just marrying that up against the two walls so that I can run it straight up and down to form that mould that we need. Now in part 2 of this video, I'll be applying a second coat of finish, and I'll show you the complete arch all the way round, finished and smoothed down. But I hope this video has been helpful for you, and I hope to catch you on part 2. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Cheers guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.